Excuse me. I'm looking for Dr. Ben Martin. Could you tell me where I might find him?
Oh, I'm afraid Dr. Martin isn't in today.
Well, I'll see him again tomorrow then.
Oh, no, Dr. Martin won't be in the rest of this week.
Well, I certainly want to see him before then. Could you give me his phone number, please?
Oh, I can't, sir. I'm afraid that's against hospital policy to give out that kind of information.
Oh, yes, hospital policy. Alex!
Dave Phillips! Hey, it's just great seeing you again.
You too, same here.
All right. Well, now, what is the best obstetrician who ever went into practice doing back in Kingsley?
Looking for Ben Martin. I don't want him to open this clinic of ours without me.
Hey, cup for me too, please.
Morning. Oh, that's fast enough for you, son?
Thanks. You know you're ahead by 3 this week, Ma.
I am? Now, would you mind telling me what I'm ahead in?
Being the earliest to rise. Don't you ever get any sleep around here?
Oh, yes. I just wanted to kind of get a little breakfast going for Jimmy. I hate to see him running off without anything.
Mom, Carla can handle that. She loves helping out around here.
Oh, I know, honey. She's been a great help to me since she and Jimmy moved back in. And you know, Bab's been kind of handy lately, too.
Oh, then that was Babs down here, then.
Oh, no, that was me. Bab's been keeping pretty much to herself last evening. Something's troubling her, Gene.
You know how Babs' moods are. I mean, one day she's a chatterbox. The next she gives you the old silent treatment.
No, not like she was last night. I think what Mr. Webster said kind of got to her a little more than she let on.
What did he say?
Well, it seemed to have been a misunderstanding. Seems the devil got to him and had him thinking that Babs has slipped back into her old ways.
There's no way Babs would get mixed up in that life again.
Of course not. And I think I ought to tell Mr. Webster.
Oh, I think that's Harold McGovern.
This early?
Yeah, I tried to get him yesterday, and I left a message for him to call me first thing in the morning. Hello? No, Frank doesn't live here. You must have the wrong number. No, that's okay, thanks.
I think you ought to call Mr. McGovern just in case he doesn't call you.
Yeah, I suppose so. Hey, what is this? Jimmy knows better than leaving his tape recorder down here. You got your name on that, Ma.
Me? Well, now, what is that little boy up to now?
Let's find out.
Ione, it's me, Babs. Now you know why I wanted to borrow Jimmy's tape recorder. I figured I'd talk to you instead of writing a note. I mean, you wouldn't be able to read my handwriting anyway. I decided that I was due for a change of scenery. Not that I didn't like your place. You know, I loved it here and all. Oh, but you and everyone else here will be a lot safer with me gone. Hey, keep praying for me, will you? I'm not so good at it. Thanks for everything. Maybe I'll see you again someday. And I love you, Mama. Bye-bye.
Babs, honey, what have you done?
So when Ben's call came, I figured that the clinic was the best excuse I could have for coming back to Kingsley.
Yeah.
I'm not too late, am I? He hasn't already opened the clinic.
Oh, no, he hasn't.
Well, for a second there, I thought maybe he'd found himself another doctor.
Yeah.
I didn't give him an exact time when I'd come back to Kingsley.
Dave, you are his one and only choice for that partnership.
Well, I'm all set to start. Just tell me when we open.
I wish I could. The clinic's all ready, but somehow Ben has just lost his enthusiasm for working in Chesterfield right now.
What? Alex, Ben was the first one to suggest Chesterfield for a clinic.
I know. You don't have to convince me, Dave. I know all about Chesterfield.
Well, where is Ben? I'll reconvince him.
He's in Fairmont, at Mercy Hospital.
Fairmont? What's he doing all the way out there?
He's with Lori. Dave, several weeks ago, Lori was almost raped.
What?
I know.
Lori?
I know it sounds hard to believe.
Oh, my Lord. Is she all right?
It traumatized her quite extensively. That's why Mercy Hospital. She seemed to be coming out of her symptoms, but last night Ben called and said she'd suffered a setback.
Oh, well, how did it happen?
She was teaching evening classes at Monroe Continuation School. Well, on the very last night of classes, as she was leaving, someone attacked her in the hallway.
Oh, Alex, I'm sorry. I've been going on and on about the clinic.
Look, it's okay. You didn't know.
Yeah. No wonder Ben's shy of Chesterfield. Monroe's only about 3 blocks from the clinic.
Well, Ben has put so much of himself into this clinic that I hate to see him let go.
Yes, well, he's not the only one. That's why he came back from Ohio.
Ohio. So that's where you disappeared, too.
Yes, I was trying to track down Kate. Yes, after all these years since our wedding and our marriage, I wanted us to get our lives back together again. I still do if I can find her.
She wasn't in Ohio.
Not by the time I got there. She had been living with her mother, but her mom died a couple months ago, and Kate just moved on.
And so that's when you decided to come back to your old stomping grounds, huh?
Yeah, that and Ben's call.
Well, if you'd been here about a week ago, you might have seen him. He was in town to have some surgery done on his hand.
Surgery? Something's wrong with his hand?
Yeah. Yes, I haven't told you about that, but it's all tied in with what happened to Lori. Hey, look, I've got to see a patient in 312. Could you meet me in just a few minutes in the hospital cafeteria and I'll fill you in?
Sure, Alex.
Good. I'll see you later.
Gene, I'm going to get dressed and see if I can find Babs.
Mom, Babs is probably out of the state by now. Besides, where would you begin to look?
Well, I don't know, but she needs to be back here with this family
Did
here.
you hear what she said on this tape? She isn't safe here, and neither are we as long as Ronnie is hunting for her, Mom.
Gene, Babs needs this family more than she ever has.
Oh.
What's wrong with Babs? Jean.
Babs left Mom a message on this tape. She left town.
We don't know that for sure. She could still be in Kingsley.
Now, why would she do that? I thought she liked living here.
You didn't say anything to cause her to Gene, maybe.
Mom, I didn't say anything to Babs at all. She made up her own mind. And if you want my opinion, I think she made the right decision.
Jean, Babs and I were talking last night after you and I came back from dinner, and she didn't say anything to me then about leaving.
You don't think maybe that Ronnie gang caught up with her and she just didn't tell us?
No, Ronnie's only part of the problem now that she's found the prince.
Who's the prince?
She wouldn't give me his real name. Only Ronnie answers to him. You see, Babs had photocopies of ledgers that Ronnie kept of all of his operations. One for him and one for the prince. But now look, only Ronnie's ledgers showed all the profits before he took a bigger cut than his original share.
I thought she walked away from all of that empty-handed.
Yeah, but Mom, don't you see that those ledgers are her ticket to safety if she can get them to the prince? And he could protect her.
So if she has these copies, why didn't she show them to the prince?
That's just it. She had the copies, but now that she's found the prince, she doesn't know where the copies are anymore.
Oh, Gene, I don't like this. She can't stay on the run forever.
Yeah, but she's probably off someplace looking for those ledgers. And like I said before, they can help her a lot more than we can.
So Ben's waiting to see if that surgery on his hand is 100% successful.
But, Alex, it's got to be. Ben's too good a doctor not to practice medicine.
Well, look who's talking. And just how long has it been since you saw your last patient, Dr. Phillips?
Too long, which is why I'm so eager to get this thing started.
Dave, you're going to find working in that clinic a big change from the private practice you started out in. Quite frankly, I don't know many specialists like you who would willingly step down into general medical care.
Alex, there aren't too many specialists like me who have thrown away their lives. Oh, I'm not blaming anyone, mind you. It was my choice to become an alcoholic.
And your choice to stop being one, too, as I recall.
By the grace of God, yes. But, Alex, I've been out there sleeping on park benches. I've been carrying around everything I owned in a brown paper bag. I've lived with people like that. I've seen them. They can't get their foot into the door of a hospital or a private practice. That's why I want to use the medical skills God gave me to help them.
Ben's idealism may have soured, but yours so hasn't.
Forgive me, I didn't mean to ramble on like that. But you remember our friend Jeff Cummings?
Yeah.
If it hadn't been for Jeff, I'd still be out on that park bench. He was the first one to tell a drunk like me that Jesus loved me.
And it's really made a difference.
There's a scripture that says it best. To whom little is forgiven, the same loveth little. And Alex, when Christ came into my life and forgave my many sins, I couldn't help but love him with all my heart. That's how big the difference has been. Oh, it hasn't all been easy. I'm still tempted to take a drink every now and then, but I made a promise. I promised to God I would never touch a bottle again.
It takes real courage to keep a promise like that, Dave. But you can keep it. I know you can keep it. Look, did you know Jeff Cummings was a divinity student now at a Bible institute about 100 miles away?
Oh, that's terrific news.
Yeah.
Are he and Liz still living here in Kingsley?
No, they moved up on campus.
Oh, that's wonderful. Jeff will make a wonderful minister.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, even his daughter Jenny said so. Oh, she's a darling. She reminds me so much of my girls when they were her age.
Let me see now. The little girls, they were named, one was Amber, and the other was called Stacy, right?
Right, you remembered.
I sure do. Every time I used to see you, they were just trailing right along. And not far behind was that little son of yours.
Kevin. Yes, Amber and Stacy took his death pretty hard. All of us did.
Well, your daughters must be very happy that you're back in Kingsley. You'll be nearer to them now.
To tell the truth, Alex, they don't want anything to do with me.
Oh, come on, Dave. I can't believe that.
It's true. Oh, they're all grown up now and so pretty. When I tried to see them, they wouldn't even say hello to me. I was trying to find out where Kate was.
Yeah. I don't know what to say.
Well, I do. I lost my family because of the booze. It was all my fault. But Alex, now I want them back. The girls, and especially my wife.
But Dave, surely your family realizes that you've changed now.
When they look at me, they see the past, not the present. If I hadn't been drinking that night I drove them home from the country club, Kevin would be alive today.
Look, that automobile accident happened nearly 4 years ago. Haven't they come to terms with it yet?
No, I'm afraid not. And I don't blame them, really.
You know, Dave, at that time, I never realized you were drinking so heavily.
That's the sign of a good alcoholic. You keep up a good front.
You sure had me fooled.
Yes, and a lot of others. You keep it from people, and you try to keep it from yourself. I remember when my life took a turn for the worse. It was right after I opened the abortion clinic, about 2 months afterwards. Kate, forever the civic-minded one, felt that Kingsley should have a clinic, safe and sterile. So I opened one. Well, it was all very legal and profitable.
But apparently it didn't make you feel any better about it.
Oh, not by a long shot. I went from telling my patients about the joys of motherhood to handing out forms to terminate pregnancies.
Didn't Kate understand what you were going through?
Alex, by that time, we weren't even talking to each other. She was always off in some civic function, and I was always drunk. Drinking helped me forget all those babies.
You know something, Dave? I think your work with Ben in this new clinic is exactly what you need. Well, let's face it, it's time both of you moved on with your lives.
It sure is. But you know, it's kind of ironic, though.
What is?
The clinic brought so much unhappiness in my life. And now I'm looking forward to opening up another one in hopes that the work will give me satisfaction.
Well, it will. Now, this new clinic's going to be a lot different than that first one you had. And all for the better.
Well, yeah, Miss Redland, I already knew about that. Babs told me yesterday she was leaving.
What did she tell you where she was going?
No, she didn't. Well, I'm surprised she didn't tell you last night she was leaving, though.
Oh, I wish she had. If I certainly would have stopped her.
Well, I think it's for the best. I mean, she's gone for her own safety, you know, and yours.
I know Jean seems to think so, too, but tell me, can you do anything to help find her?
Well, I could have kept my man McCormick on it, keeping an eye on her, but, you know, he's trying to track down where Miriam is.
Oh, has he found out anything about Miriam?
No, he hasn't, but the police have.
They found her?
No, they found her car. It was parked in a towaway zone not too far from where you live.
Her car? Well, she usually parks in my driveway. You think something could have happened to her on the way home?
I don't know, Miss Redland. Anything's possible.
Oh, Well, will you please let me know if you find out anything else about her or about Miriam or either Babs?
Yeah, Ms. Redland, sure. I will let you know first thing. And thank you for calling. Bye-bye. Vince, I don't think that I was supposed to see you today, was I?
I told you I was going to get back to you about the Canterbury office project.
Oh, yeah, sure you did. But I didn't think it was going to be quite this soon.
Can I see the list of investors?
List?
The list you said you were going to have for me.
Oh, that one, sure. It's right here somewhere. It's right here. Yeah, there it is. Looks like you got the green light on this one, Vince.
These preliminary figures on the amount I should invest, does that coincide with your estimates?
Well, I really haven't finished researching the figures completely, but I'd say that any amount of money you want to pour into this would be beneficial to you. I'd say it looks like Canterbury's going to be just as profitable as Hollister Mall.
Just as I thought.
Well, if you want, I can go ahead and arrange a silent partnership on this one, just like I did on Hollister Mall.
No, I leave that go for a minute. I want to talk about my son. You promised to look for a position for him in the administration side at Hollister Mall.
Yeah, I checked into it. Now, I can get him a job there, right in the front office, in the executive offices, but...
But what?
Well, are you sure you want to do this, Vince?
Why not?
Well, if you want to preserve your anonymity, I'd suggest you reconsider. I mean, you don't remain a silent partner for very long when you got your son right there in the front office.
I see what you're driving at. Oh, all right. Hold off on it until I get back to you.
Yeah, sure thing. Look, Vince, I'm on my way over to see Charles right now. You want to come along with me?
It's a good idea. How's he getting along?
About the same.
Did you ever let him know that Helen Carpenter is a major investor in Hollister Mall?
She wanted to remain just as silent as you do. Besides, in his condition, now's not the time to tell him.
No.
Things are going okay with you and Jean, aren't they, Carla?
Oh, Mama, things are fine between me and Jean. But when I see him running around the house like he did this morning, I get afraid.
Afraid of what, honey?
Of his ambition. You know how Jean likes to be the best in his work? And that drive could take him away from me and Jimmy.
Oh, Carla, honey, put all of those kind of things out of your head. Now, Jean's been through an awful lot lately. But you and Jimmy come first with Jean and always will.
Mama, don't misunderstand me. I'd never stop Jean from the kind of work he enjoys.
Oh, I know that, Carla.
I just want us to be happy for the rest of our lives as we are now.
Carla, honey, I'm going to see to it that you and Jean stay on a honeymoon as long as you're in this house.
Thanks, Mama.
I'd hate to think what it'd be like without you. I've gotten so used to you being here. I know what it's like to be without Miriam and Babs.
Oh, Mama. At least for the immediate future, we're going to be here. And I bet by the time we get our house and we move in with Jimmy, I bet Miriam and Babs will be back.
Charles, I'm going to personally see to it that you're brought up to date after every stockholders meeting. Hollister Mall is doing just fine.
Well, that's nice to hear, Vince.
You'll be even happier when you hear about your returns. You got yourself a gold mine over there.
And there's also the Canterbury office project that I think you'd be interested in. It's going to be built by Prescott Development.
Yes, Harold mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, and I'm waiting to roll on it anytime you say.
Well, I'm not terribly anxious to start up with any new business deals. I'm having enough difficulty as it is with the ones I already have.
Well, now's the time to act, Charles. I myself will be spending more time here in Kingsley because business is picking up.
Canterbury won't be any problem for you at all. I'll take care of all the details. All I need is your signature to get rolling on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least I can sign my name from this bed. No, Harold, we'll talk about this later. I need more time to think it through.
Fine, Charles.
Well, I'm going to be running along now, Charles. I got an appointment with an associate. I'll be back to see you again, though.
All right, well, thanks for stopping by, Vince.
All right, so long.
Yeah. See you later, Vince.
Yeah.
Harold, I want you to go out and find Miriam and bring her here to see me.
Look, I've got my man McCormick. He's keeping an eye out at Helen's now for her. Miriam will be here just as soon as she knows that you need to see her.
She knows exactly how much I need to see her. She simply decided that she doesn't want anything more to do with me.
No, Charles, don't do that to yourself. Now, Miriam would be the last person in the world to desert you.
Harold, stop humoring me. I know what's going on.
Charles, I don't think I understand.
Oh, open your eyes, man. I may not be around here much longer. And I want to see my daughter before it's too late.
Now, I've changed Mr. Emery's medication. Make sure that the nurse on duty knows about it.
Oh, Dr. Greeley, look, I've
Hi, Harold.
just been in seeing Charles Carpenter. I'm worried about him. Is he all right?
Well, yeah, physically he's much improved. That triple bypass operation saved his life. But from an emotional viewpoint, well, you've just seen a man that doesn't want to live.
Oh, that doesn't sound like the Charles Carpenter I know.
Post-operative depression is not uncommon in patients who've undergone surgery similar to his. But quite frankly, Harold, he should have snapped out of it by now.
Is there any way I can help?
I think what would help him most right now would be a visit from his daughter. He really needs her.
I gotta find Miriam.